Boys and girls, welcome back to What the Duck. This is episode number 43, and we're back with some of the usual suspects and a couple new faces. It's Zyori Suns fan Slacks with Moxie and malystryx. Boys and girl, feels good to be regular here on Moonduck with the podcast train flowing. It's Tuesday again, and that means we're talking for an hour and then going our separate ways till next week. What's the good word?
Hello.
How you guys doing? Hi, Sunzy. It's been a while
Greetings.
since I What the Duck, you lazy old bastard.
That's right. We just recorded Fails with Neil yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the worst episodes of all time, but people love it. So I guess from now on, we just need to make content that just sucks ass to get views, Slacks. What do you
That's
think?
kind of our standard, I think. I think that's how we've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I go to the doctor today. I've been sick for officially 9 days now, and 7's my limit. So, yeah, I'm good. I think I just have some kind of virus, but I'm good enough to talk. So here I am.
I like how you say that as if it's a personal limit, even though that's like just a very normal, like, if you're sick for more than 5 or 6 days, absolutely go to the doctor. That's not a Slacks number. That's a universal.
I go to 7.
You push it to 7. Okay.
All right, can we take a poll here real quick?
Okay.
All right. So Slacks gets sick 3 to 4 times a year. Not an exaggeration. Now,
More than that.
if this happened to you every year, minimum, would you A, do nothing like he has done, or B, get a fucking flu shot?
I'm not getting a fucking
Please.
flu shot, all right? It's like you just shell out for the most evil corporations, the United States government and Discord. It's all you fucking care about. Jesus Christ. Let's get some more invasion of my privacy there, all right?
Well, enjoy your Ebola or whatever you have.
I will. This is natural. This is how the Lord intended it.
Just don't come around us when you start getting mutations of strains and things like that, and we all end up dying because of,
Yeah, don't come around for me when your government-issued fucking thing put into your body turns you into a goddamn vampire, okay? Because I'm going to put a stake in your heart and tell you I told you so, assholes.
This
Great.
violence
Mally?
Slacks. Jeez.
Welcome.
Great.
I still remember when you sneezed in your coats at the events, and I was like, that's
Is
disgusting.
malystryx talking? Does anybody hear him?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can hear him.
I hear him. Do you not hear him?
Really?
Yeah.
In high
I
quality
hear him
definition.
breathing, I think. I'm pretty sure that's him. I hear some breathing.
Can you say something?
Hello, Suns
You
fan.
guys can hear him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You can't hear him?
Your perfect Discord
God,
has
this
some flaws.
VIP Discord, how could this be happening?
Wow.
Did I mute you or something?
It knows he's not a USA user, so it's an auto block.
Clearly.
That's racist, Suns fan.
All right, say something now.
Hello, Suns fan.
All right, we're gonna have to switch servers. I have no idea.
Oh,
my God, are you
what
serious?
a surprise!
Let's try another
That is
channel.
so
Let's
weird.
try that first.
Can we try Steam groups?
Move us to a new channel, Suns fan.
Well,
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
That's
Where are we?
malystryx, speak.
Hello, Suns fan.
I can't hear shit from him. How is that possible? Fucking
That's-
Discord.
That's
Just
really
Yes!
Frank.
All right,
All right.
back to the shitty server, I
Back
guess.
to Moonduck.
Back we go!
Oh, sweet Jiminy Crickets. All right. Can you hear him
I
here?
can hear. Yeah, okay.
Suns fan.
100% he is not muted, okay? On my server. 100%. I just checked.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't
For
know,
one
dude.
person, I can't hear.
You need to ask somebody at Discord how that's possible, because I've got no fucking clue.
I guess I need the VIP2 server.
Yeah. You need the real hookup.
All right. Continue.
So, Mally, try moving your mic away from your mouth. Every time you laugh, it sounds like a wind tunnel. There you go. That's probably.
That's
So many
me.
flames.
But now I
So
can't hear you. So now you got to turn up your volume or something. Always a
This is,
problem.
I thought we
with
did a
this guy.
sound test for like 20 minutes
Well,
before.
we did. The problem is he didn't laugh during the sound test. You didn't say anything funny during the rehearsal.
He said hello.
It was
when
a-
people say hello as a sound test, that is not helpful. actually.
Exactly. That's why you got to yell balls, horse, horse.
Exactly.
Horse!
Pause.
There, I'll turn
Oh,
you up a little
shit.
bit more. There we
Horse.
go. Maybe that's. We got to get back on TeamSpeak, man. This is killing me, Suns fan. You're single-handedly destroying Moonduck. Without this.
Steam groups,
I don't know
guys,
what's up with our
once.
TeamSpeak.
Just once. What do you think?
All right.
What?
So, Moxie, what's going on in your world, man?
I just got back from Berlin, man.
Woo!
It was awesome.
So,
This
oh
is
yeah,
it.
you were
Did you
there
have a
with
donor?
malystryx. I saw a picture.
Yeah, it was hype. It was really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, we're at Join Dota Studios, casting some NA Dota during Central European time. So I was up until like 5 a.m. The boys were real sweet. The last day, they tried to stay up late so that way they could all party with us.
Oh,
And
okay.
they all fell asleep. It was so cute.
Wow.
So give me the lowdown on this event. What was it like? Who was doing it? Join Dota?
So Join Dota
Okay.
was picked up to do the casting for ESL. So there was I think it was Gareth Lacoste, then Lizard and KP, Nomad, Mofra. Am I forgetting someone? And then
Yeah,
Bowie
your
and I.
co-caster.
Yeah, Bowie and I. So we went over there. It was super fun. It was great to see everyone. I got very, very lost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Kind of my
lost,
thing. But the event, it was a lot of fun. We did have like a little bit of hiccup with the NA main regionals because there was like a period of time. I think PainX was having some issues because Laposa's what do you call it? His connection was not very, very good. And I know also one of them wasn't feeling very well. But we ended up having like a 45-minute break, which was hard because it's like 3 a.m. in the morning where we are, you know, and I'm trying to stay awake. And Bowie's hilarious because we're sitting there and I'm like, oh man, I'm starting to fall asleep a little bit. I'm a little bit tired, you know, but you know, I'm super hyped. It just need the game to start, right? Bowie offers to slap me.
What?
Did he do it?
We're there, and he's like, "You want me to hit you in the face?" And I was like, "Are you serious right now, Bowie?"
I mean, I guess that's an effective way to legitimately wake somebody up if they're nodding off. I don't know.
Yeah, he offered to hit me in the face, and I said, "If you do that, I will knock you out. I will just lay you out, dude." He's like, "No, you know, it's a way to be, you know, energized." And I was like, "I swear to God, Bowie, I swear to God, I see that fist come anywhere near me, I will kill you." So we ended up playing Scribble with some of the teams because like they were waiting, and so we're playing like Pictionary and stuff together, which was fun. They made fun of my Jeep. They said it looked like a shoe.
Oh,
wow.
I can see that.
It did not look. How can you say that? You haven't even seen my drawing.
Well,
Yeah, it looks
I would
exactly
draw
like
a
it.
sheep, a Jeep in the same way. It's like a box and then another box. Kind of looks like a shoe.
Oh boy.
All right.
Anyways.
Just oh boy me.
Oh boy.
Can somebody tell me how good donors are, please?
Yes, they're very good. Arteezy taught me that. Doner kebabs are the fucking jam.
We had that. Lizard actually ordered for KP and I our first night there. We got it.
Woo!
Wowzers.
It was pretty good. It was a lot of food.
What's the difference between a donor and a shawarma?
It's the way that's prepared in the spices, I believe.
Yeah. So the shawarma is just covered in garbage. It's just spicy garbage. Like they know that the meat sucks, so they just cover it with
amazing.
they're like, here's a bunch of rare spices from the world, and you eat it. But the donor, they take care of that meat. They slow roast that shit like European.
That's exactly the same as a shawarma.
It's probably
an
the
actual
same
pit.
meat. I think it's the same meat, different spices. I think Moxie's on
It's
it.
different spices, yeah.
You get to taste the meat when you have a donor. When you have a shawarma, you're tasting some fucking
you haven't
spice.
had a shawarma, obviously.
I haven't had a good one, at least.
Whatever. I live in
Pretty sure
Colorado.
that's
Of course, I don't have a good shawarma.
You travel places, dude. Go
Yeah,
try
when I
it
travel, I
sometime.
eat
He doesn't
McDonald's.
eat. He doesn't eat when he goes to
God.
events. He doesn't eat. He does not eat. It's only Oreos.
That's not
That's
true.
right. Everything else is dangerous. Listen, I went to the Philippines one time. I ate chicken feet one time, and I felt like I was gonna die. Like I was like 2 weeks of vomiting. So no, I eat McDonald's every time I leave the country.
I think this is a problem with your immune system. If you really just look back at all your sicknesses, just look from
The
within.
flu shot
my
would have
friend.
made a big difference for that, clearly.
Agreed.
I am a strong, healthy, ideal male.
Slacks,
Did
I
you
hope
get
someone
sick at
told you that
Captain's Draft?
when you eat chicken
No.
feet, you're supposed to just suck the skin off for the flavor, not eat the entire foot. So if you were chewing and swallowing the bones, that would explain the bloody diarrhea.
The what
Are
diarrhea?
you serious? Because I legitimately just ate the entire chicken foot.
No, it's a
No,
meat
you're not.
thing.
You're not. Oh my God.
You suck the skin off. It's cooked in a spicy, flavorful juice, and that's
face.
why it's worth eating. It's all about the flavors, not the substance.
Oh. That
Well,
makes a
now
lot of
we've
sense.
solved the mystery.
There you
That was
go.
very painful on the anus when the time came. So that makes a lot of sense. Huh.
God.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ. How many
So let's
chickens
talk
were
about real shit now. What's
Okay.
going on?
Well, so let's talk about announcements a little bit. Moxie, so last episode, right, we were criticized for not giving you a proper introduction. We kind of just threw you out there, and for maybe some of the Moonduck fans that didn't know who either of you were, it was just like, hey, here's this person. This is what the Duck, and let's do it. So, where was that that event in Berlin? Where was that the first event you've traveled for casting? Where is that on your spectrum of events? You know what I mean? Is that kind of a first for you?
Yeah, that was the very first time that I was sent out to travel. I was super, super excited, and got to hang out with all the other casters. It was my first baby step, I guess, towards
Sweet.
lands and such.
Slacks, what was your very first event that you were actually invited to? Because I know you crashed a bunch of events before you were actually, brought in to do stuff.
ESL New York, number one.
Damn it, I knew it as well.
That was a good one. Oh man, that shit was so funny, dude.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like,
I remember
"We'll
that.
pay you $70," and I'm like, "I'm in." Great. Yeah, that was a good one.
Was that the one you were doing like side content or something? Right?
Yeah, I was like working alongside a Zoe back in the day, and they were like airing the side content, but they had so much technical problems they didn't air any of it, and I thought that it was because it was bad, because it was my first esports event. So it's like they had like a 4-hour delay on the first one, and I was like, why don't you guys play the content during the delay? And they're like, well, we can't, because if we play the content and then the games come back, we'll have to stop the content. And I'm like, but it's been 4 hours, and they're like, we can't.
We got this.
But, so exactly,
So
it's gonna come back any second now. It's
Right,
dude, that
Is that
event.
the one where they changed the finals to be best of 3 out of nowhere or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
I think
That was
so.
the first event I saw someone cry. It was the I Buy Power rep. I was upstairs and there was a grown man huddled in he was like in a ball crying, and apparently he's the guy who brought the PCs for that one. Like they just kept replacing PCs and they'd explode in like 10 seconds. I'm not talking like they crashed. I'm talking about like smoke was coming out of them. That was a good one.
Dude,
Try
that
something.
was the first event that I worked as an independent contractor. I'd worked events under BTS. Well, I guess I'd done that one Han DreamHack a long time ago. The first Dota event that I seriously that was my first one. Man, that event was brutal. That was the first and only time I have talked to Melk, and it was on the panels. And let's just say he was not receptive to my jokes, and it was brutal. I think some of the most brutal panels of my life happened at that event. The Zyori, Melk, Purge, Merlini during technical difficulties was...
That is
That's
one
a
of
hell
the
of
worst
a panel right
collection.
there.
Yeah, that's oof.
That
And
was
then
my first
dude-
LAN event I ever attended.
Really?
Like
Ah.
ever was ESL One New York. Mm-hmm.
No
yeah,
way.
way back.
Everything.
Way
First
back,
one.
she cosplayed as Mirana. I cosplayed as a cat. It was
Oh,
perfect.
shit.
Now, you know who has a lot of experience is Mr. Mal. All right. Now, we said you were just saying we went into these we didn't do an introduction for people. You said that, and then we immediately left the topic. So we got to do an introduction for my boy Mally here.
Yeah.
Mally, tell the people about your history. You guys won't believe how long this man's been working in esports. When was the start, malystryx?
I think it was 2003.
Mm.
15 years ago.
Jesus
15
Christ.
years in fucking esports. What was your first event, Mally?
So it was actually, I was 18 and I was volunteering, and this guy said, hey, do you want to fly to Amsterdam? And my parents thought I was going to, really, they thought I was in danger. They thought, like, this is a scam. They're totally going to murder you, take your organs. This is not real. And I was like, seriously, this guy, he messaged me on the internet and he told me he's going to send me to Amsterdam. And they're like, no, don't go. You know, they think he's like a pedo or something. And I was like, no, he's serious. It's like this website's about games. I should totally go there. So I remember we went around the red light district with Red Eye when he was in his 30s.
Wow.
And it was
So
young Red Eye before he was a big star.
Young Red Eye.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was an admin. The first event I was an admin and all the players flamed me, and then I decided I didn't want to be an admin. And then the second event I was an editor, and then they all flamed me and I said I didn't want to be an editor. But then there was nothing else to do, so I just stayed being an editor for a really long time.
Right. So you've been like writing about Dota 2 and esports in general for fucking 15 years now. And now it's a lot, man. What's your favorite thing to write about is it Dota, obviously? I mean, after all this time?
Warcraft 3, there was a player called Moon, and Moon was so good. So in the game, there were 4 races, and he was called the 5th race. And he was like an alien. He was just so strange, a South Korean guy. He just looked weird, he moved weird, and he was just so good. And I don't think there's any player, like maybe like Miracle level, but he's the only player I was really excited to see. And I got him to sign a mouse mat, and that was because he said my name once on a plane. After the event, we were flying back together, and I was like, oh, Moon! And he goes, Law! And then he walked away.
What the fuck?
That's it.
Sounds like an anime.
It's so good. That was like the peak of my career.
The first time I met Malystryx, I think one of the first things he said to me was, "Man, I was really expecting you to be a complete piece of shit." I'm like, thanks, bro. The weird thing is he kept repeating that. Like, he said it 6 or 7 times in the same day. I must have made a really strong impression on you before we met somehow, buddy.
I remember.
I love Malice.
I've said that to a few people. I think.
Yeah.
Who's the other person I thought wasn't gonna like? Let me think. Oh, I think okay, come back to me. I think Milk's
Malice
someone
one
you
of
think
the-
you're not gonna like, but you do like him.
I
He's one of
remember.
the best dudes to work with, if I may, because Mally does not fucking care. He will tell you if it's shit or not, and that's so rare to find in this industry. Because everybody wants to do the shout out thread and be like, hey, I know that the talents, it's just us and they're doing their best. But sometimes I'll make content and I'll show it to Mally and I'll be like, dude, what'd you think of that? And he's be like, that was probably the worst thing that I've ever seen. That was shit. That was so bad. And it's got like a number 3 thing on Reddit, and the guys are just like, oh, this is so funny. He's like, I thought it was fucking terrible. And I love it. It makes me laugh so hard. I love the brutal honesty of this kid.
I think Svetlana the punishment sheet was by far the worst. Do you remember that? I don't
Svetlana
think you saw
the
this. It was just a ball, and we wrote crap on it, and we threw it between the fans, and it was just so bad. It was. I think there was even more than one part. There's even more. There was the Roshan thing where you just chased people.
All right,
Like,
that was an
what was that?
emergency content piece, but whatever. Anyway, Andrew, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say that the moment that I first realized Malystryx would fit in with our culture was, I don't remember which event it was at, but I started talking to him. We're going back and forth. I start telling him a story, and I say, so the other day when I went out with my girlfriend, and he goes,
Oh, no.
whoa, 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 are you telling me you're not gay? Just interrupts the story and just immediately goes, oh, wait, full stop. You are not a homosexual. Oh, God. And I
did not say
continue with
that.
the story.
It was surprising.
And like a minute later, he
You're
interrupts me
wearing
again
a
and goes,
gold
I can't believe that you're not gay. I really thought that you were. Just like, you're not even, it's over now. Okay. And that level of brutal honesty, I've encountered seldom in my life. And when you find it, you gotta cherish it,
You gotta cherish that. It's rare. Whew,
That was a
fucking
great
good.
accent, by the way.
That
Yeah.
was close.
That was that
Andrew's
was spot
great at the
on.
accents.
It's been a
What's
long
up,
time.
Mally? You're complaining the whole story was not told. What were we missing? Was he talking about having sex with men before that, or what? What's up?
No. It's good. I was surprised. I was genuinely surprised. I didn't even hear what he said after that. When he said girlfriend, I had no idea what he said after. I was like, what? My whole idea of you is destroyed.
What?
All right, let's move on to real Dota shit. shall we?
Okay. So, all of that was a prelude for our next event here coming up. Moxie and I are shipping off to Vegas in like 2 days here for this event that just got
Woo.
announced. It's on the front page of Reddit right now, so the timing was good. It's wsoe. So I didn't know much about this event. They kind of reached out to me what felt like last minute, though I guess now it was a week or 2 ago. And I didn't know how many teams, what the format was. And now all of that's been announced, but I need to pull up the thread to refresh myself because what is it, the World Showdown of Esports? What a great name.
Yeah, they've got some really good teams in there. I'm pretty excited. Stuff that I've just actually cast. I know Complexity is going to be there. PainX is going to be there. Final Tribe, Alliance. It's
here we
pretty
go.
exciting. I literally
Alliance
just
are good now, right?
got
Alliance are good.
Yep, they're back.
What?
Yep.
Who's
They're
on that
back,
team
isn't it?
now? Anybody
Same
know?
people as last time.
Oh.
They're just better.
Wow.
No, it's I think it's wait, is it Insania? Is that on a different team?
It
I
is
think it's
Missing
Insania,
Alcova, Mike,
Taiga.
Foxy, Insania, and Taiga.
What's up with this
Taiga.
Final Tribe team? I haven't been watching a lot of Pro Dota, but they keep popping up. Apparently,
Yeah,
they're
they're
like
doing well.
they're legit.
I believe
Interesting.
so.
Because they've got Chessie. They've got Chessie, Frost.
Yeah, so Final Tribe
Hanskin
is kind of
era.
like that old NIP squad. Yeah, it's Jonas, Hanskin era. It's an all Swedish team.
Oh yeah,
Swedish.
okay.
That's
So,
Swedish.
but I think what's kind of cool about that team is that it's a player-run team, sort of. It's sort of like Alliance Junior, where they started their own org, and it's like a Swedish brand, and it's owned by another Swedish dude.
Does nobody think that that's fucked up? By the way, am I the only person? I might get some flack here, but nobody else does that. They don't do like, oh, sorry, Americans only, hard rule. Like, remember when Alliance kicked EE because he wasn't Swedish? That's not fucked up. Nobody. That's
No,
just
that was
cool.
just their excuse. They just didn't want him on the team.
Yeah, that's
okay.
probably their excuse. That's a good excuse.
Sorry, you're not Swedish enough for us. You really think that's what that would have gone down real bad? Everybody knew, it's not the real reason.
Okay. Maybe I'm just overreacting. I don't know. I
So-
think that's offensive. If a team was like, sorry, Canadians only. We don't fuck around with the lesser species in the world. I'm like, no.
So
No?
yeah, all right. So anyway, this event, right? The teams are cool. Whatever. There's something I got to get off my chest here, Slack. So I need your advice on this, and I'm a little curious / nervous / excited / anxious. It's a real whirlwind of emotions. Now, on this Reddit post from Ask Joshy, there's a lot of details in here, and they've just got this talent list, and there's 5 names there: Capitalist, Sayori, Lyrical, Breaky, Moxie, some great NA Dota casters. Cool. Sounds good. Then you go to their website, and there's a post that says Richard Lewis is going to be hosting the entire thing, like it's the Richard Lewis show. So I'm quite curious. Are these talent going to be on a panel with Richard Lewis? Is he going to be doing monologues? Is it like a Richard Lewis capitalist thing? Is Cap a co-caster? I'm very curious about the lowdown here, and I'm excited to meet Richard Lewis. Is that a weird thing to say?
No. It's new people getting into the scene. Everybody should. More people is better. I know we've had our issues with Richard in the past. And I'm getting a little choked up just thinking about it. But I will say it's people change over the years, and it's interesting to see how talent go. And if they're not passionate about the game, then they shall simply disappear, as many people have done before. But give it a shot, man. It's gonna be great. New people should be getting into the scene. I like this cross-pollination. I want to do CSGO events. I fucking hate CSGO, but it'd be nice to meet some new people so I don't have to talk to you assholes all the time. So, go for it, man.
Cool. Okay. Well.
And
Richard Lewis, you need Richard Lewis. That's what you need people like Richard Lewis, because then that's the top, that's the extreme, that's the limit. He pushes the limits. The same for Thorin.
Have you met him, Mally?
I have. I met him long before he was famous. He used to have a blog called Gonzoria, so his nickname was Gonzo, and he used to do like a 4,000, 5,000 word article. It was just his opinion. He didn't edit it. He didn't care. And he used to write about Call of Duty. But yeah, he's not that bad. It's just like kind of persona, but I think it's cool if you've got sort of extreme people. I don't support his views, but I like the fact that he does stuff that other people won't do.
I was near him once. I was in his presence at an event where Toby was casting Counter-Strike. I was there, and they were all eating pizza, and I walked by with LD, and they kind of looked at me like, piece of shit Dota casters. And then we just kind of looked the other way and kept walking. We didn't really stop or say hi, and then LD was like, hi, Toby. And then Toby just kind of ignored us. It was weird.
Okay, take it easy. Jesus Christ. We're live,
I know.
Anyway.
No, that was a long time ago, dude. It's like when you don't know any of those people, it's like you see these other people that you kind of know and like think, they're esports famous like us, but I don't really know them. And it's weird to just walk up and be like, oh, hey, dude. It's not weird, but in the moment it feels weird, This was also like 2014, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think it's grown a lot. I remember that. I was at a Star Ladder years ago when I did my first on-stage interview stuff, and it was like a dual thing. They had CSGO and Dota, and I tried to talk to the CSGO guys, and I was just like, hey, guys, I heard about that R8 revolver, huh? Pretty broken. And they're like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, hey, which one of you is Semblers? And I go over well. I literally don't know anything about CSGO. I literally know Richard Lewis, Thorin, and then there's apparently a guy named Semblers that's real good.
Sembler. Yeah.
He's with Overwatch now.
I think he's in Overwatch. Yeah, he quit CSGO.
Oh, well, he's dead. But
Jesus. Well, now I'm glad I didn't say anything. Compared to that experience, I feel like I nailed it.
I love it. You just go up to other people and you're like, hey, you guys are in esports, right? Like that PUBG event. So what's up with your
you eating the
fucked up
crisps?
games,
That was
bro?
good. I enjoyed that when you're eating the crisps live. Like, who is this fat Mickey Mouse?
That was
Anyway,
that's like one of my top 3, top 5 most cringe. We should do a top 5 most cringy Moonduck moments. I think that would rate very highly on the scales. Mott was visibly angry, just like Slacks, you are ruining the production. My
still
future in
have,
PUBG is on the line.
Do we still have footage for that plus the chat? Because you need to intertwine them.
I think so, dude. I think it's still, if you go to the Twitch VODs, you can watch the chat. The best part was the private Discord with all of the professional players in it. That was going just as fast as Twitch chat. And it was
Dude,
just
I was laughing so hard watching that stream. Holy shit.
holy
Reading
shit, that was a
chat.
good one.
I usually never read Twitch chat, let's be real. You guys know me. But that was the one time I read and I thoroughly enjoyed reading all the comments about Slacks.
Oh god.
Eating
Well, let's
goddamn
move this.
pretzels or popcorn.
Let's move this away from me. But I think that having these cool other talent from other things coming in the game is kind of cool. I don't know. It's a divided topic because I have a lot of respect for guys like Richard Lewis and Thorin. I like their game. I think that it's really cool what they do, just kind of like throwing shit around and trying to piss people off. I think that's cool. Like they got this sweet thing that we don't have in Dota. Everybody on a Dota panel, pardon my French here, I'm going to offend some people. Everybody on a Dota panel is a fucking pussy. All right? All they do is just be like, oh, what a wonderful play. Oh, would you like to talk about how wonderful that play is? Oh, I sure would. And then maybe you got Kyle that's like, these guys suck. And I said it. And you're like, oh. But I mean, like, those guys in CSGO, they're just like, this kid's stupid. His family's stupid. He I hope that he dies. I think that's so fucking great because that's what a conversation should be. It should be one guy just dogging on this dude and then this other guy going, you're an idiot. And that's what makes a good panel. Like, seriously, look at like sports on NBA and shit. You have two guys that are constantly arguing back and forth about stuff, and we don't have that in Dota. It's just like
there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, is what I'll say. And the NBA and TNT do it very well. It's completely different than the stuff that you see on ESPN with like people like Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if any of you guys know who that is. Just people that are arguing for the sake of just to create this fake persona. Those people are fucking annoying as shit. Like, holy shit, get off the air, buddy. Like, it's just aggravating to watch. But like Charles Barkley is what we should all strive to be in our lives. Fat,
you know the best,
hilarious.
The greatest panel that ever happened in Dota 2, it was the Frankfurt Major, Purge versus Nahaz. That was one of the greatest fucking panels. When Nahaz just said something and Purge goes, that's completely wrong. And then he just digs into him and Nahaz is like, what the fuck are you doing right now? And it came out of nowhere. Now it's like, I sometimes go back and watch that panel and laugh my ass. It was like one of the most entertaining panels I've ever seen. And it was like set up in this environment of like high professionalism. It was the first Dota major and everyone's like got their suits on and stuff. And they're like, welcome to the beginning of the future of Dota 2. And then Purge is just like, you guys are idiots. Like, oh, fuck. I mean, it was great. It was great, but whatever. Anyway, more flavor into Dota. I like shaping it up. I like mixing it up. So welcome CSGO brothers.
I'm super excited, man. I can't wait. I've never been to Vegas either, so I'm like excited to experience Vegas and Dota in Vegas. And now I thought it was actually going to be a smaller event, so I'm stoked that there's like 10 teams. There's going to be all these. Cinderin's going to be there too. That's exciting.
Ooh.
His team's going.
First time in Vegas for you and Moxie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, a couple of first timers. We'll have to get some steaks and see a show.
That's better than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
Just so you know, hookers are actually illegal in Vegas.
Yeah, but outside of the city limit. You bus out of the city limit, and that's where
I know
all the
that sounds fan,
brothels
but
are.
how do you know that is the real question.
I know that. But the real question is why? Why is it illegal in Vegas, but legal everywhere else in Nevada?
Well, because when they passed it, it was very non-bipartisan. It was polarized, so they had to make weird concessions. The only way they could get the other side to pass it politically was to remove it from the city itself and take it outside, man. Set the perimeter.
You can have hookers in Nevadas?
Yeah, dude. Legal hookers. It's like Australia. You can drive out in the desert.
They're not a free sample, Slacks. You can't just pick one out.
That's gross, man. Who wants to bang a hook? Let's be real.
I have to say, Vegas is one of my least favorite cities I've ever been to.
Lawrence, I'm sorry. Did that comment upset you? Are you all about banging the hook?
What is happening? What is happening?
Yeah, can we get malystryx opinion on banging hookers,
I
please?
mean, he's been to Amsterdam, so what does that say about?
That's true. The red
All
light
right,
district.
Mally, let me set something up for you, okay? You get invited to an event, whatever. The guys say, "Hey, malystryx, great job. Someone's waiting for you in your hotel room tonight." You know, we're at a PGL event, like PGL North Korea or whatever. You walk into your hotel room, and there's just a hook there. What happens?
I'd say bye-bye.
You'd
That's
ask
it?
her to leave?
That's the end of the story? Are you kidding me?
No, I'd ask her
Who
to
said it
leave.
was a her, first of all? Come on now.
Dude,
It's 2018.
some of her time's probably already been paid for. At least you could play a board game with her or something. She's a person.
Well,
Just
we've
fucking
done
talk
that.
to
Play some
her.
video
have
games
done
with her.
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. You're just going to kick her out, be like, sorry, see you later, not interested, bam. That's fucking harsh, dude. She's already got body issues.
Quote of what you would say. That sounds exactly what I would picture. What would you say, Mally? What would be the exact quote?
I'd probably say I'm not interested, but I might have a friend who is, and think of like one of you guys.
Wow, what a
The
what a
handoff.
giver.
So you're telling me I get a text message that would read, "Hey Zyori, there's a hooker in here. You want me to send her to your room
I'd probably
because
call
I'm
her a
out?"
prosy because I'm British.
A prosy?
Yeah.
Oi, there's a fucking prosy in here.
Turn Aussie. Jesus.
No, a
Sorry.
prosy, like a
Don't we have
prostitute.
Dota
No, not an
to talk
Aussie.
about?
An Aussie's an Australian person.
Oi, there's a fucking Aussie in here.
There's an
There's
Aussie
a fucking Aussie
prosy.
in here. Get him out.
Oh, dear.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So okay. So have fun in Vegas. It'll be a blast. Recommendations for Vegas: if you guys want a free ride anywhere, little known fact, you can go to your hotel and say that you want to go to a strip club, and they'll send a limo. And then, so what I do when I'm in Vegas is I like find the closest locations on Google Maps to where I want to go to a strip club. Then I'm like, hey, take me to Lickety Splits. And then they'll take you there, and then you're just like, bye, and you get a free taxi ride in a limo anywhere in the city. It's great.
This is
Wow.
Don't the bouncers do not like that though. Do
That
not
is like the most hood shit I've ever heard.
It's so fake. There's no way Slacks did
Money.
that. There is no way Slacks did that. He's lying. He's
No,
lying
dude, I actually did.
100%
I
lying.
went to Las Vegas. I was in high school before Dota. I was super fucking poor. I literally had $200 in my name. My friend's like, "Hey, we're going to Vegas for a weekend."
Nice friend.
Yeah.
You're not alone. So
Yeah,
the friend
that's right.
did it.
So it's like
Thank
4
God.
dudes.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I don't have enough money to go to Vegas. And he goes, listen to me. I'll pay for your flight. I'll pay for your hotel. Just come and survive. And I'm like, okay. Can you imagine surviving 4 days in Las Vegas with $100? I literally woke up every day and I put $20 on blackjack. If I won, I ate. If I didn't, then I went hungry. I had to go to the Ameristar Casino and steal free drinks. Did you know in Vegas, if you sit in front of a slot machine, you don't actually have to pay it, but they will bring you drinks and food.
You have
Yep.
to tip.
Yep.
You have to tip, though.
I was not aware of that. But
I've never tipped.
You always
You're
tip,
supposed
dude.
to tip, and
If
if
somebody-
you
Are
tip
you
well,
sure?
they bring you more drinks and stronger drinks, because
Yeah,
otherwise
dude.
they're pretty weak.
It's
We
a
got
whole
casinos where I live.
Suns
You know
fan's
so
not a
much about
drinker though,
Vegas.
so he's not in on that whole system.
That's not true. I drank a lot of cherry Coke when I'm in Vegas.
Well, I don't know if you have to tip for cherry cokes. I'm not gonna lie.
A
That's
lot.
did you
Wait, what
guys know?
hotel are you guys
Horrible.
going to be at? Or I guess you shouldn't say that, but I'm interested
Yeah,
to see what hotel they put you guys
I
in.
actually. What venue is it at? I don't even know. I just know it's in Vegas.
Did you know the
Check
human
your
body?
email.
can
I'm not sure if we're
survive?
allowed to talk about it or not.
Yeah, probably.
Is this a Dota 2 podcast?
Yes, let's move on. All
We're
right,
talking
we're
about a
supposed to talk
Dota
about
2 tournament. What the hell's? All right,
Let's
so,
go.
All right. So what else has been going on in Dota? We're all waiting for the patch. We had a lot of questions of people wanting our predictions about what's going to change during the patch. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that is a shitty thing to talk about, and I'm going to nix it. But so many people, literally like a third of the questions are related to the patch or when the patch is coming. Or so, does anyone have any thoughts about the patch in general? Because
I heard
don't.
people really hate Ricky. All
Yes.
of a sudden.
Fuck Ricky. I usually like to be
It's new to me.
contrarian. Not this time. Fuck Ricky. Fuck Ricky pickers. F y'all. Okay? I hate heroes that only work if they pick on the stupidest person in your team. Storm Spirit, Ricky, and some other one I forgot. But those heroes that capitalize off of the one idiot on your team are so strong because there's always one really stupid person in every Dota game. And they were just like, here I go. I got a 10-minute defusal blade because I killed this fucking guy 15 times and you can't stop me. Here I go. It's horrible.
You're bringing back
hate
painful
Ricky.
memories. This is literally me being killed by Ricky all the time.
No, it's okay. It's okay that you're that one person sometimes. I've been that one person sometimes. God, I hate fucking Ricky. I can't wait for him to get nerfed. Is that it? Nobody else?
That's it.
I mean, a lot of it is Ricky. Like, there's something wrong when like you can't even have that smoke cloud and stuff. Like, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Dude,
Can I
there
ask you guys a
should-
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's changed? Because I've been away from the game a little bit, and 3 weeks ago, nobody was complaining about Ricky. Tell me what's changed.
It's just the normal thing that happens in Dota. People realize that a certain talent is broken and they go for it. The -7 seconds is insane. And there's no reason a Ricky should be able to start as a support and by the end of the game stun lock your BKB hard carries at 70 minutes until they fucking die. That's ridiculous. Nothing's changed, but people have discovered his brokenness, which is happened many. That's Dota 2.
I mean, people are just bored of the patch right now, so they're trying out like all these different combinations. We talked about it a little bit last time on What the Duck with Purge, how he basically told me to fuck off because he's tried every single different hero that there is, and every lane and every combination.
Well, that's a very Purge thing to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Purge hates me after that podcast.
I've
but, you know,
done everything. Cool. How dare you question me?
Yeah.
I can random in every game and win. Moxie!
Yeah.
I don't think Purge loves anybody, so don't worry about it.
It's cool.
You're in good company.
Cool. We got some beef. But yeah, no, I mean, you're seeing a lot of these heroes that are coming up because people are bored. You're seeing that some of the counters actually are no longer viable now that people are playing certain things. It's just people are bored and they're trying out new stuff, and that's why they're finding out that some heroes are stronger than others.
Yeah. Now, Lawrence, you've been working on your Dota 2, haven't you? What are you spamming lately?
So you told me to spam Axe, and I actually had an interesting game when I was in Berlin. I played a different hero because I didn't want to listen to you, and I was sick of Axe, and I played Sand King. And I was losing my game really hard, and I had like 4 people coaching me. So I had Nomad, Mofara, Lizard, and who was the first one?
Bowie.
Anyway, Lizard in the middle of my game, I'm losing really hard. He said I could turn this game. And then the others were like, nah, you couldn't. And then they bet that he could take over my game and win the game. So we were losing really hard, and he did actually manage to take. So I gave him control. He took over my game. He won the game, and then he won the money. But Axe is
booster.
Yo, you gotta tell them about what he yelled at everybody.
Though. So he at the beginning he just did it himself, and I said, shouldn't you work together? Ask your teammates. Like, okay, guys, listen to what I fucking say. You do what I say, we're gonna fucking win. And then they started listening to him. I don't understand. So all these people just followed him around, and then he won the game for me. So it was really crazy. But yeah, because he just was rude to everyone. I thought you have to be nice to people to make it. He just treated them like rubbish.
People
say
that
guys know?
Not toxic. Go ahead.
Did you guys know? I know Zaire. I don't know if you guys are even in Dota at this time, but when Dota 2 was announced and IceFrog was promising features, right? He's like, okay, there's going to be reconnect features, stuff like that. There's actually a feature he explicitly said that would be in the game where if you disconnected, you could have a friend log in and play for
game.
you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How weird would that have been to actually?
Very.
Dude, that would happen so many times in ranked. Some guy's fucking losing, and then he's like, "Uh-oh, got a DC," and then some 9K friend comes in, and is like, "I'm here to kick ass." Oh no. Anyway, it's talking in game. It's you can't be nice. If you're nice, then nothing's gonna happen. If you're that support that's like, guys, I really think maybe we should gank soon because things could probably not go wrong. I think that this Medusa's getting a lot of farm. That's what we in psychology like to call a diffusion of responsibility. That doesn't work in a game like Dota. You have to be like, all right, dumbasses, you animate, stop fucking farming. Let's fight now. And then they know to do things.
You do that and it works. That's what I don't understand. You do that when we play together. You just flame everyone and they just do what you say.
Yeah, because people there's a thing in psychology where if you tell someone that there's something they don't want to be, they will subconsciously try to not be that because they know that they are not that. So, for example, when I say Animage, you stupid farming piece of shit, have you ever played this game before? Are you just going to farm all game? He wants to say, oh, no, that's not me. I'm not a stupid farming piece of shit. I'm going to prove this guy wrong. But the trick is, I wanted him to prove me wrong, you see?
Yeah, you flame people, and then they want to prove you wrong. They want to earn your respect. That's why I don't understand it. But you're right. I guess
he's just a one of a kind. I mean, let's be honest here. Out of the people in this call right now, does anybody actually enjoy playing with Slacks?
How dare
do.
Moxie
Not really.
loves it.
I think it's hilarious, but that's just me.
That's
so.
how it began. How many games have you played with them is the real question.
Well, since you didn't add me on Steam.
All right, take it
Mhm.
easy.
It starts out like the honeymoon phase, you know. He tones it down a bit, but then after a while, he just it's just.
What are you?
out of
We're not gonna
control.
have this. We've had this discussion every day.
That's
for
true.
the
That's
3
true.
days.
That is so
You're
true.
a piece of shit 10 times more than me, Suns fan.
What are you
Suns
talking
fan
about?
picks the hard carry, and then he farms for 15 minutes. He doesn't say a
Every
goddamn
game I
thing,
pick
and then
Pango.
he
This is not
goes,
a hard carry.
"We're fucked. We're fucked. We can't win." You know, imagine having an offlaner that's been farming for 15 minutes, and the only thing he
Okay.
says in the game is, "It's over, guys. I can't win this."
I-
You know what
I will
that
say
does
one
to
thing.
people?
One thing, I agree that I can be very negative, but I only speak to slacks in the game. Okay, I don't like if I'm talking shit about our teammates, I don't say it to them. Unlike slacks, I do not actually tell them that they should go kill themselves or whatever the equivalent may
I've
be.
never said that. That will
No,
not
whatever.
Unless I
I
need
just
them
say it
to
to you.
abandon them.
You know, I feel like you're mentally strong enough to withstand my negativity, but apparently not. So I just won't speak.
I am, but the others aren't. Okay.
I don't speak to them. What are you talking about? I literally never speak to teammates.
You speak on the bike in the game.
No, I don't. All right.
All right, we need to move
Mally,
on.
you were saying I was correct. Please back me up here.
So Slacks always
Don't-
invites me to play with it. Oh, I don't know. Do I pick
Go ahead.
sides?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Slack said, "I'm going to teach you, Lawrence. I'm going to train you after TI. I'm your man." We start playing the game. After 5 minutes, he's pissed off with some teammate, gets obsessed with them, forgets I exist, and I'm like, "How am I doing? Oh yeah, you seem to be doing all right. This guy's an asshole." And then the whole game is like flaming this one guy, and then I'm like, "Oh," and then we won, and then it's like, "Damn, I hate that guy. That was a great game." I was like, "Yeah, it was great." So yeah.
Dude, you got him so riled up his webcam fucking moved. Did you just
Right.
see-
I mean, but that is training. Okay. Sometimes
But you win.
you're
You
not
win the
worst
game. That's the
person.
thing is you can get this motley crew of morons, and they can hate you at the beginning, but at the end they want to do what you say, and that is a true skill.
That's winning. Okay.
That's winning.
I'm a winner. Ziori.
All right. But no, the truth of the matter is people are really hungry. It's been a slow week. Last week when we podcasted, we talked about the KL Major. Those qualifiers are basically done now, so we know who's going to be going to that. It was sort of the gauntlet of qualifiers for that, and ESL Hamburg and Dream League for the minor, and there was something else going on where there were some qualifiers. And now it feels like this last week has been relatively quiet in comparison. Not a lot of big, juicy Dota 2 dramas.
Yeah. People are really sad. They're just posting a bunch of different artworks all over the place this week.
What's
What about
Inktober?
Dendy? Dendy playing for
It's
Secret.
Inktober.
That's cool.
Oh,
Okay. Is that cool?
Oh yeah, Dendy. Dendy
Playing for
Team
Secret. That's an
Secret.
interesting news.
I guess.
Ziori's always been a Dendy hater. He's always hated Dendy.
What
can't
are you
hate
talking
it.
about? Dendy's nice to me. We're friendly. He follows me on
He's
Twitter.
all-
Oh, you wanted some juicy drama there, Ziori. So here we go. You got beef with Dendy.
Yeah. No, I
gonna
mean,
make a Reddit
every time
then.
we talk about Navi, you're like, well, who cares? I mean, it's Dendy.
Yeah, that's because it's like the most lowbrow talking about just like, oh, Dendy's really good and his team really sucks. When's he going to get good? I don't know. Navi's got a lot of fans. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. How many times have we read that story in Dota? I'm tired of it. Write me a new fucking chapter. Have an original
right.
thought for once.
Damn, dog.
Savage.
Well, how do you guys think that's going to look? I cannot wait to see that team picture. I hope they slap Dendy in a jersey and take a picture of it. You know what kind of cognitive dissonance that's going to create in the Dota 2 community to see Dendy wearing a different shirt? Oh my God. I'm going to frame that shit. I don't care how long it lasts. It's going to be glorious. Woo.
I mean, it's a brilliant PR play for sure. There's no doubt. If for Team Secret, you know, they need a stand-in. Was it just this week? I guess. I mean, it's really, it's pretty smart. I think
Yeah,
it's a cool idea. I'm stoked.
Do you think that he could join the team?
No.
No.
Zero.
No. Zero chance.
Who is he standing in for, by the way?
Isn't it? Wow, 5 of us don't know.
Mid
Oh,
one.
is mid one
No,
though?
mid one, yeah.
Yeah.
Nisha is. All right.
He's the mid player, I would assume.
Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that he could
Yeah,
be
it could
standing
be
in for
any
Yaps or
position.
playing support or something. I don't know. Zai
a lot
could
of
be
people
playing
standing
mid,
in
and he
right
could
now,
be
though,
playing
on
off
teams.
lane. There's a number of scenarios that could play out here, gentlemen. Now, while we're on Secret, let's talk about Nisha a little bit, because I just saw an article at your former alma mater, Malystryx. Join Dota.com. They wrote a great piece about, is Nisha the new young all-star? Remember, he was from Team Kinguin. He was on that Polish squad, and now he's getting a shot with the big boys. Does anyone concur with that assessment? Is he the new Arteezy, per se?
Who? That's my answer. But you guys can take over.
Okay, cool.
Not yet. That's for sure.
Sorry, Andrew.
Malystryx, you wrote the article.
I did not, but my friend did. My friend did, and I'm very proud of him. He was my former volunteer, and I got him a job at Join Dota, and he's a student, and that's his first paid esports gig.
It's actually no. I mean,
SK Dota, who did the famous video "Mort Breathing." If you've ever seen that video.
Oh, I have not, but sounds cool. So I brought it up jokingly, but I actually do think it's a pretty good article. And although I do think he needs some more accolades to kind of get to that point, there are some stats in there that are relatively convincing, and it's not a name that you would think of. I mean, to your point, Slacks, you hear Nisha and you go, whom? Team Kinguin? What's that? Where's Poland? I don't know. And they've actually looked pretty okay. I mean, they've been at a couple of events that we've covered over the last year or two. They've been at it for a while, and it's kind of neat to see a player actually transition from the unknown to Tier 2 and now get a shot at Tier 1, right? Like, aren't these the kind of storylines that this whole fucking thing is about?
Whatever. I've seen it before. Thompson was a streamer that won TI.
Thompson?
David Thompson?
We need news story. I'm sick of the underdog learning how to play. I want something crazy like...
I want someone who's like 40 getting good. Like some super old guy. That'd be cool.
Where's Dota 2 Silver Snipers? I want that shit.
I want to see some ladies get in there. I want to see like Kay start showing up at some of these DPC events. She's so good.
Who?
Krolzina? Carolina?
Who?
She's a Brazilian. She's a Brazilian player. She plays on Minas Club. And she's ranking up real fast. I don't know what she's at right now for her rank, but she actually played on Stars E over in Brazil for a little while, which is one of the Tier 2 teams. And that was mixed. She was the only girl and was playing support.
Dude, I can't fucking wait for a female to finally become a pro Dota 2 player. It is going to do such wonders for the scene.
She's doing commentating too. It's actually so cool. I'm actually super jealous about it because I want her to do like analyst work with me, but I'm not sure if she's comfortable doing it in English. But she's been doing a bunch with one of the Brazilian groups actually.
What's her handle again?
Krolzina?
Well, I definitely can't spell that, so that's her first problem. Her name needs
let me just repeat it for you.
Orange or ice. Krolzina?
Right.
Krolzina.
Yeah, well, I'll look that up.
It's Carolina, but here, I will put it in the chat, her Twitter.
Not everyone can have a name like Ziori, Easy.
That's it. I just put it in chat. She's she's super, super awesome.
Krolzina. Good luck. Good fucking luck with that tag. All right.
She plays K. Yeah, she plays on Nick as K. Carolina. She's really, really good. So.
Wow.
That's
a great WoW character name right there. Krolzina.
I am Krolzina of the Forgotten Mages. It's like Malystryx. Like half of the half the gigs are gone because people are like, "How the fuck do I put that on the talent announcement?" Mouse.
So yeah, let's flashback.
What was your substitute? What was your substitute? Come on, this amazing moment of brilliance that was better than me. G-Law. That was your suggestion.
G-Law. That's dope, dude.
That's horrible.
What is GDS?
Oh god.
What is GDS, Malystryx? What is GDS?
It was before I got hired at Join Dota. I wanted to do a website where it's like mostly pictures and cartoons, and I was going to call it gooddaySir.gg. And I bought the website, and then I didn't do that because I got a job, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to remember that? So I put it in my nick, and then me and my brother use it. It's just like to remind the project that could have been.
How much would it cost to become Moonduck Malystryx?
Sponsored?
How many pesos would it take for the old Twitter name change?
We really need that space.
We need the advertising. Please, Mally, how much would it cost?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
How much per month to be moonduck.Mally?
Moonduck. Malystryx.
We gotta change your
brand me. You
Oh,
can
God.
rebrand me. You rebranded Trent, right? He was called Mop Packs before.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that was terrible. We've done it before.
That was one of our
Mock
most
was
proud
god-awful.
moves ever. Whenever we go to business consultations, that's like our front center portfolio piece. We turned Mott Packs into Trent Packs. Mott Packs was a loser, and Trent Packs is a winner. That's the way we bill it around here. You stab them, we slab them.
Let's have a contest. What do you guys think? Let's have people come up with a new name, a new handle for Malystryx, and we'll give them a prize, like a Moonduck.
No, dude,
I
that's
love
how the
everything.
Flyers got their new mascot, Gritty the fucking Maniac.
Great, amazing.
The thing is nightmare fuel.
Dude,
It's-
I went to the Avalanche Flyers game this weekend, and the amount of signage just making fun of Gritty. Like, our mascot, the Bulldog guy, or St. Bernard, was holding up signs saying stuff like, Gritty likes Tom Brady.
Why?
That's supposed to
that
be
funny?
offensive. You know?
Listen,
Like,
you idiots.
What?
That's the whole point. It's all about the advertisement. Gritty's so shitty. He's beautiful. It's wonderful.
One of the
Everybody
signs-
knows. I don't even know what sport that team is on, but I know about Gritty. That's how
it's hockey.
effective.
One of the
Who
signs
fucks
said,
hockey?
Gritty is the reason you need to get your children checked for lead poisoning.
That's creative. I like that. I like that.
You know
That's
what?
fucked up.
I was gonna give my artifact beta key to Bernie. I only had one extra one, but maybe we'll have a real contest and get Malystryx a new nick.
I like how it keeps sounding like you're saying mouse tricks. Like I'm not getting the
It's
rest
from
of
it's from this
sound.
skit. It's from this skit we did in the Boston Major. When I
Oh.
don't know why we did it, but we broke open Machine's suitcase without his
You
permission.
hate that skit.
Thinking
It was-
about it now is ridiculous. Like he just arrived in the hotel. We just jumped in with cameras and opened his suitcase and just went through his stuff.
Yeah,
Oh my
people thought
God,
that
I would
was
kill
scripted.
you if
That
that
was
was me.
not scripted.
I thought
He
you did it
literally
today
just
night.
arrived. Huh?
I thought you did that to day 9.
We did. Well, the day 9 skit was after that one because that skit was such a success in my mind. I
Oh.
loved that. Skit.
Do you remember the
Oh, my
security
God.
guard who thought we were actually like robbing him?
Oh yeah, he's like, get away from that man. He
was
walked out in suits, and I'm like, "Get his luggage." And the security guy's
him,
like, "Who the
Malystryx."
fuck are you?"
Oh my God.
Good guy.
All right, so
Anyway.
let's take a topic here that's not related to Dota, but esports related, and I want to hear Suns fans' opinion on this one. Now, this is League of Legends news, and I don't know if you guys heard, but no, Slacks, you're gonna like this. A bunch of pro players just got fined for using offensive language in solo queue matchmaking games. So, and it wasn't
kind of
like,
Are you sure it's not Overwatch League doing this? They're the social justice warriors. I thought.
oh, Slam. No, it was League of Legends this time. And this one was interesting because they just made a post and said, we've gone back and scanned some records, and it seems that these people have done some things not becoming of professional players. That will be $1,000 for your transgressions, young man.
Whoa.
So they get fined money only?
Yes,
Not
money.
suspension or
I
anything like
believe it was money only, and I think it was like in the low thousands, like 1,000 to 2,000. But
All
this
right,
is not in league. This is solo queue, just your own shit. That's
what kind of language are we talking here?
that I actually don't know. Twitch
'Cause I
chat, we're
think
going to
that would
crowdsource
change my
this. If you can
answer.
help us, if there's any article out there that cites examples, the articles I saw did not link any specific language. But
All right, if they're using stuff like fucking shit and testicular anus, stuff like that, that's fine. I don't know why they would be fined for that. That's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
if they're being blatantly racist, I have no problem with them being fined. Who gives a shit? We suspended too, for all I care. That's fine.
okay, so for you, it's all about the limits. I guess my question is, is it weird because we don't have a good separation with Riot? It's like they're the developer, they're also like the commissioners of their version of the NFL, of the LCS. So they're kind of like uniquely positioned to like reach out. Like the commissioner of the NFL can't be like, yo, Tom Brady, you said some offensive word while you were practicing with your son, and now we're going to fine you because you're a bad example for football. You know, it's like this is a little bit,
I'm pretty sure they can do that.
well, if it's recorded maybe. You know, but
Yeah. These league matches are recorded.
well, but this isn't league. This is, well, yeah, they're recorded,
Yeah,
but
they're
it's,
the
you know,
pub
it's
games.
it's sort of separated from playing in like an
So it'd
LCS
be-
official.
I would think it would be equivalent. Like I'm going to use the NBA as an example, right? NBA player is not at an official game, but he's, let's say, at practice and he's being recorded, and he says something that was considered super offensive to the point where he needs to be fined. That definitely happens.
Okay. All right.
How do they have the
Leighton just
jurisdiction?
posted saying that it was racially insensitive comments.
Okay,
Okay.
which one? Go ahead and read it off, Mark.
Yes,
Which race?
Just because I'm the
specific
only
word?
minority here doesn't mean I get a
Well,
free
you're
pass
the
to
only-
just.
You're the only safe one. Just read it.
But yeah, it says.
Don't do it. I'm kidding.
I'm
Don't do
skimming
it.
the article. It doesn't say the actual
Yeah.
slur. But I guess it was. Let's see.
Okay.
Gambit Esports jungler Daniil, Diamond Prox, Reshnikov, and Invictus Gaming's top laner Kang the Shy Sunglok were both fined $1,000 following in-game reports filed against them, according to a statement by Riot.
What?
It
The
was
one
for-
guy was
the
fined
shy
for
was-
intentionally feeding.
Yeah, and toxic
Whoa!
language.
Now that's different.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's different.
Well, it says
Excellent.
intentionally
Imagine-
feeding and toxic language. So it was the
Holy
full
shit.
burrito. But
The coach
He
too was
would have to
fined.
play unlimited tournaments just to pay for his fines.
He was
would have to-
so this coach was reported in more than 70% of his solo queue games for negative behavior.
Ooh. This
They
is
don't
very
have a low priority in that game, I'm guessing.
I guess not.
Racially
all of-
insensitive comments.
Ooh.
Huh.
I mean, okay, I will say, like, Riot, obviously, they're like one far end of the spectrum. I think most of the stuff they do is fucking dog shit. But this specific instance, I'm super okay with that happening for Dota, which I know it's never going to happen, but I would fully support it personally.
That's
Yeah.
a weird jurisdiction, though. They're not signing a contract. Like if they were at an event and they did that, that's one thing. But these are like they're how does
Dude, they can't
Riot
even
have the
claim Dota.
authority to be like, give me
Yeah,
$1,000?
dude,
They
I'm
do sign
sure
contracts.
those
They do
LCS
sign
contracts are bloated and fat and so favoring Riot, it's ridiculous. They set up that league to be like, guys, we're going to be generous. We're going to set you up with these fat salaries. You're going to be good as long as you're playing. But there's a couple strings attached. And at that point, you're kind of like, well, why would I not play an LCS? I'd be a dummy not to do this. So I'm sure there are things in there that, cover shit like
It's
that. where-
probably a difference too between like, one offhand comment and then spewing garbage out of your mouth the
Yeah.
entire time that you play the game too.
And I think
So-
for Riot, they see it as a big-time liability because they want their game
Yeah.
to be as close to a safe space as you can get with a MOBA, which is
Wholesome.
an
Mm.
uphill
But
battle.
Shouldn't it go
so-
both ways though? Well, shouldn't the players get $1,000 for every sexist thing that Riot does? I mean, that how does it not go to them?
It is ironic. I'll give you that.
No.
But if you look at it in a vacuum, then I think it's the right thing to do. But you're right; it's very hypocritical because Riot's just piles of garbage. So
Now,
Huh.
can we stay on this subject for a second? 'Cause I want to ask you guys, like that locker room talk, right? That whole thing. Is there any real like? I'm thinking of a couple of Moonduck events where there's been maybe 4 of us out to dinner, and we've talked about some things that you could argue are over the line. So like, where does that transition from? Riot started as a group of 5 guys. And like, I get that there's a point where you need to open up your culture and be like, guys, you can't say the F word at work anymore. You just can't do it. You got to grow up. And I don't have that much sympathy for people that just refuse to kind of keep up with the times, right? But I always just wonder, like, how do we decide where that line is? You know what I mean? Because I think we've all been in that situation where you feel like you're in the comfort zone and you're joking around with people, and it's I don't know, man. I guess we're getting philosophical here, but fuck.
Well, I think a lot of it is like you try to be a good person, and then when someone's not being a good person, they get called out on it. I had so much time as a resident advisor with people trying to force people to live in a certain kind of thing. Like we had to take kids to social justice classes they had to go for like 100 hours a semester or something and be like, now, be nice to people and treat them with respect. That's a waste of everybody's time because humans like to be good people. I mean, they just want to be good people typically. Nobody who's like, I want to be a fucking racist asshole. And some people don't know that they are that and they get educated and it's beneficial. But you don't take the people that are already decent people and keep hammering it in. Now remember, don't use the F, don't say these naughty things. Like we already know that. So I don't think prevention is a thing. I think it's something that you have to be reactive towards. And a lot of companies are really good. When someone says something super sexist or racist and they're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Here's a fine, you're fired, whatever. But, you know, trying to like make claims about company culture and being like, now we're going to respect women. Like, that's like, what the hell are you doing? What do you? That's like when Captain Crunch comes out with Captain Crunch. It's like better tasting. Like, what does that mean? And I mean, it tastes like shit before. So I don't know. I mean, you gotta. I think it's a reactionary thing.
Interesting.
Right?
I think a big thing with stuff like that is just know your audience, know who you're talking to, know that if it makes someone uncomfortable, then just stop doing it. It's so easy to just realize, oh shit, you know, I said something I shouldn't. This person's pissed off. Don't have to say it anymore. Don't have to bring it up. Don't do it in that, you know, context. But I think a big part of it, like Slacks is saying, it is pretty reactionary. Where if they say something or someone says something, and you just have to have someone just immediately say, no, that's not acceptable, and you have to make that change, because that's a big problem. That's in Dota too, right? So, you know, you'll be playing your games, and like I'll maybe use voice chat for like once in a blue moon occasionally. And then you get people who, you know, they're like, oh my God, grill. And it's either, you know, I want to have your babies or get back to the kitchen. Like I've actually very rarely ever gotten someone who's just like chill about it. But then it becomes that issue where like, I know that a lot of the Dota guys are actually pretty decent. They're decent fucking people, but they just don't feel comfortable with saying like, hey, stop. Because they don't want to make it an issue. They don't want to, you know, be called a white knight or whatever. Like, it's just so easy just to be like, that's stupid. Stop doing that. Like, that makes someone uncomfortable. Stop doing that. That's all you have to do. But so many people just like, it's like, oh, it's not my problem. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to, you know, it's
Plus,
just
a lot of people are just socially awkward as well, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually have that moral compass necessarily. Doesn't mean they're bad people, but they just haven't been out in the public enough to know what is considered inappropriate and is not, you know?
Right. And
They
that's
live in a
a
bubble.
huge part, especially like when people are going to college and stuff and they're away from their hometowns, they're away from their parents, and they start learning about real society, which is what video games are so good at, is teaching you what real people actually think about you in a safe place, a dude that you're never going to meet again. Like me personally, I'll be happy to admit that back when I was in high school, I used to say the F word for homosexuals all the time. I used to drop that all the time. And then I was in college and some guy's like, why the fuck do you say that? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I start thinking about it and don't say it ever again. But it was that one guy who said, like, why do you say that? That's really fucked up. And then I changed my life. So you should do it as much as you can. I'm in games all the time. People drop the N-word and I'm like, what is this, 1942? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I can't believe people like this still exist. So it's just, some people just need that wake-up call. And I think things like what Riot's doing is weird. It's a nice step in the nice direction, but still, I don't know about finding them, but like, you know, preventing them from doing an event or something, that makes more sense to me. But taking their money away for using naughty language is strange, but what can I say?
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, though, Slacks, because I had a very similar, for the very first time I had that moment of recognition where someone called me out for using that F word. It was in a game of Heroes of Newerth, and I was really mad, and I was yelling at somebody, and everybody left, and that one dude before he left and I was alone in the game said, you know, I'm not offended by that, but you just sound like kind of an idiot when you use that word so much. And then he just left, and I was just like, damn, dude, that was like a sick mic drop. I feel super insecure about myself right now. And then I took a moment and went, okay, maybe I should think twice before I use those kind. It's like a weird, I don't know. It just takes that one moment, man. Plant that seed, baby.
Should we charge players, though, for that? Should they be held liable? Should their income be taxed? When EE denies his items, should every item be $10,000?
I think, all right.
I mean, remember, this happened, right? That one summit when No Tail used this very word to describe that Tide Hunter backstroking around on the couch, and everybody was all upset about it. Should BTS have kept some of his prize pool winnings for doing that?
If they had it in the contract, maybe. But I think at the end of the day, the current infrastructure of Dota, you can't just haphazardly just put this shit in, you know, because it's just going to be too arbitrary. You need an actual system put in place. You need like Valve is never going to be that company that's going to oversee everything in that manner. It's just not going to happen. So you'd need like a third party nonprofit, like a union of some kind that comes up with these rules that people can vote on, and we can establish it for the entire community.
I mean,
but again, never going to happen for Dota ever. 100 years from now will never happen.
But thought
ever.
experiment time. What if BTS had said, so every tournament has those like kind of God clause contracts where you could like in theory get away with that. Let's say they were arguing like, hey, this is really inappropriate. Our sponsors are upset. We don't want to be associated with this. We're deducting $2,000 from his winnings as a penalty because that did actual damage to us and that's over the line. And whether it explicitly said that's a banned word on stream, he should have known better. How would the community have reacted? Do you think more would have sided with BTS or more with No Tail?
I think the community would be fine with it, but the players would not be. And the players control everything in Dota.
Sure.
Everything.
Well,
I think you'd have to work it into the contract in advance, saying that if you do anything damaging to our particular brand, then we will fine you.
So, but you think there wouldn't have been an outcry of like Team No Tail, like free No Tail, that kind of shit?
That's a real rough argument to make. No Tail should be able to say that naughty word whenever he wants. Fuck those people. I don't think that's the side you really want to be rallying on.
Plus,
I think in that situation,
if you're just finding them, it's whatever.
In that situation, you're at a tournament. They are paying you, so they are allowed to deduct based on what you're doing. It's the weird thing is in my private time, you're going to try to take my money away that you did not specifically pay me, which is weird. I don't know.
These games streamed?
It's different.
Were they games streamed or were they
no,
not
they were just pub games.
They're just pub games.
Oh, okay.
So you're playing late at night, you're drunk, you're all upset because your girlfriend's not getting along with you, and you're playing some games, and you take that rage out on some random internet idiots.
So I understand, and there's no perfect analogy for this, but the way that I look at it, it's not the same as being, like, let's say I'm in a group with 3 friends, and somebody says something over the line. It's whatever most of the time because we're very easygoing people. That is in the privacy of your own home. But this is, I feel, is not, because you're playing in a public forum almost.
Yeah.
You're a public figure playing a game against people that know who you are. I think that's totally different.
Yeah.
Personally.
That pisses me off. I hate it. Sometimes when I rage at people in games, they're like, you're a public figure. You shouldn't tell me that I need to buy more words. You need to be nice. And I'm like, you need to buy a fucking word, dude.
This is why I literally don't talk to anybody when I play. Well, ever. I never
remember,
use
Slacks, don't forget that the Riot ecosystem is different, right? Like, Riot does pay their salaries. Like, the team stuff is structured totally differently. So
No, that's why it will never happen in Dota, because we're a free market economy.
Yeah.
And Riot, literally, if you want to do anything with them, you have to sell your soul away. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's part of working with the devil. You're going to lose out of once in a while.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Cool, fun social justice talk. I love social justice threads on Reddit. You just see the 700,000 comments. Oh, thank you, Lawrence.
That's what I think of this conversation.
Yeah, all right, we're moving on.
This is literally what I think of this last 10 minutes of my life that I've just wasted.
All right, we're out.
All right, that's good. Well, we had to throw you in head first, Lawrence. So, okay, fine. This is a question straight from the Moonduck Discord to wrap things up, unless someone has a story. All right, now, this person claims that Too Good hinted at a potential return, and his questions are following. Did Too Good's actions make Dota 2 vulnerable for an all-out ban in China, much like certain artists and projects that get outright banned because of what they say about China? Was the punishment for him too severe? Did he endanger the whole scene? And has Valve and tournament organizers, have they taken steps to clear what is acceptable/unacceptable at events for talent? Anybody want to tackle this donut?
I could be wrong about this, but is China even aware who Too Good is? I don't think they give a shit about the English stream. Like, let's be real. They do not watch the English stream.
Yeah.
So I would say no, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. But I think the other question, maybe. I don't know.
The good thing about the Too Good thing was it made the talent was scared, but it did put a limit on what you can say. Because before that, there was no limit, and Too Good made the limit. And people know, oh wait, we better be careful what we say. And I think the punishment was fair. I don't think it endangers the scene, but they knew what they were getting when they hired him. But why he was talking about disabled people porn, I don't know. I mean, like, how much preparation was really done if that's the first day? Like, gotta mention
set the tone, you know. You gotta set that tone.
It was exactly. You think that was a mistake? I mean, he was like, I want to set the tone. I want people to know who I am and my hosting style. So here we go. This is literally, he probably wrote it in this hotel room the night before. Yeah. This is my first joke, and it didn't go over too great. But I don't know, man. you say that, Lawrence, but I remember at TI after the Shanghai Major, they got us into a room and they're like, hey, nobody's going to get fired, okay? You guys don't have to be scared. Don't be scared. Yeah. We're not going to fire you. Do whatever you want. And I was like, really? And then they said, well, don't, you know. And I was like, what does that mean? And that was like the conversation. It's like, you guys won't fire us no matter what? It was, I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't think Too Good has any impact. I think Sunsan's right. They didn't even watch the English stream. If you ask most Chinese people, they have no fucking idea what Too Good is, most likely.
Yeah, they got Haomao and all the other streams that they can watch in their own talent. They're not watching the English one.
I for one would really enjoy watching him host again, though. Personally.
Yeah, I think he should come back. He shouldn't be banned forever. I think he's done his time.
I think it's
I mean,
hard.
Solo's a hero now, and he's like famous for match fixing. Why can't Too Good be a hero again?
That's sure. True. I think it's hard to see that divide when you're in it, but like equal but opposite. China has similar scandals that we're not aware of because it's only reported on Chinese sites and about Chinese talent that if you're not Chinese, you probably don't really know or follow or care about that much. So it's the same kind of thing where it's the separation is just as strong from their perspective as it is from ours when it comes to talent and stuff. I mean, could you name 3 Chinese talent right now? I couldn't. I could maybe name 2.
What's wrong?
Moxie's shaking like yeah.
Well, I'm in the casting slots all the time, so I run into these guys all the time.
I'm just saying, like that's I'm making the point that I totally agree. Like I don't think they even know
what's wrong with you guys.
I've forgotten everybody.
What? Oh.
I mean that has nothing to do with them being Chinese either. I just don't remember anybody.
No, it just has to do with they have their own broadcasting stuff. That's like China is its own region with its own commentators and its own. It's sort of like its own bubble that's isolated from the English-speaking audience that watches.
You guys don't know about DC, the Chinese slacks, Ames, 78.
You just Googled this.
I can see you.
You so Googled this.
You don't know about.
You so Googled this.
You're so full of shit, Slacks.
No, I actually do know these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
I do. DC and I go way back, dude. DC's the man. Anyway, people always villainize Valve, by the way, for the Shanghai Major and Too Good. Might I remind you that they single-handedly saved his career at the same time? If James was simply fired and he simply left, his career would have been over. Imagine if you were the host of TI, you get fired on day 1 and you never return, and that's it. And people just say, well, he must have got fired for those fucked up comments. And then his career's done. But in their kindness, Valve came out and had the CEO call him a fucking ass, which literally saved his career and extend his notoriety. A billionaire publicly called him an ass. Do you think that was a mistake? No. They had to do something. They had to get rid of him to appease the people, but also at the same time throw him a big fucking bone. They had Gaben call him an ass. Imagine if Gaben came out today, Zyori, and said, you know, Zyori's a real piece of shit. And that's the only thing he said. You know how fucking huge your career would be?
I'd write a fucking book about it, dude.
You'd write a fucking book about it, dude. There's no reason they had to do that. But then they just go in and they save his fucking career after they fire him. And then they let him write his manifesto, his 18-page manifesto about buying his video game after that. So when is that
coming out, by the way? I'm looking forward to it. Good Lord.
Never.
I love James. I love Valve. And I think it was the perfect way out. They could have fucked him. They could have just fired him and said nothing, and he would have been vilified for the rest of his career. The ass saved him.
I mean,
I just completely disagree with that on every single one, but that's okay. Literally everything you just said is completely wrong.
What are you talking about, dude?
If they said nothing would have changed. There just wouldn't be the ass meme. That's the only difference.
No. The people rallied behind James because of how unfair it was that they called him an asshole. And like that, they rallied behind. That was the factor that saved his life.
I'll disagree. I mean, it had a little extra icing maybe, but no.
I think
that is not the...
To the last part of that question about have other tournament organizers made it clear like what's acceptable and what isn't, I don't know if I've ever really had too much trouble with that. I think almost every event I've been to, it's either brought up in the prep or I ask in the prep, like, what's the tone? Are we going no fucks? Are we going occasional fucks? Is this like a family show? Or are we just no holds barred? We're just letting it go? I mean, every show is a little bit different, and I think most tournaments understand how important it is to make that clear and set the limit so you don't have a surprising, like, fucking cut it kind of moment.
I always do that for every interview. What's the tone in this interview? Can I say
should I be asking this in Vegas before I go on and just start?
Yeah, always. Tone's important.
I TGD myself.
One guy, I didn't even know who he was, and I'm like, drop the F-bomb. So he's like, I was recording this for my kids. I'm a teacher in high school, and
wait, wasn't that malystryx? Because you've done that to him too. Hey, Slacks, my son wants to. I tell him to fuck off. Oh, Slacks,
I tell him don't swear. Oh, fuck. I said don't swear. Fuck you. Stop swearing. Every time.
Sorry. Mally has to be on like speakerphone with his kid around. And I'm like, fuck that. And he goes, oh, Jesus. Sorry. All right. What else we got? Any more Dota news?
Okay. No more news. I've got one more short question, and then after that, we can wrap it up. We can tell a story. You can do whatever you want. Okay. New system. We're just getting a taste of this new DPC system. Do we think that Tier 2 teams have a better chance to come out of the woodwork and get further in terms of their careers?
I would say yes, but not because of the DPC, but because of what the DPC doesn't provide. There's like a side effect of the DPC is you're going to have more tournaments that are like not on the DPC, and more Tier 2 teams will join it, so they have more chance. Okay. So yes, the DPC does give Tier 2 teams more opportunities, but not from the DPC.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's true though. I mean, there is kind of an abundance of these non-DPC events that teams that are already at the minor and major just kind of don't really give a shit about because they're on that road, and teams that didn't make it have basically nothing better to do, so they might as well play for money and notoriety when they can. And that's sort of what this Vegas event is like. I mean, there are some top-tier teams there, but also some of those kind of Tier 2 or Tier 1.5 teams that winning this could help give them some momentum for the rest of the season. So I'm with it.
Yeah, because if you think ESO and Hamburg's he's not on the DPC, but there's so much exposure. Tier 2 teams get loads of fame from those kind of tournaments. So
Hamburg's right around the corner. Aren't you going to that, Slacks? I think the talent announcement came out today.
Roger that.
Aren't you going to Australia? Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about the Outback.
Not talking about that tournament yet because they have not bought me plane tickets yet. So
okay.
You better get a picture with like a koala or something, though.
Hell yeah, dude. I've been trying to go.
They're vicious, though. They're vicious, so watch it. But I want a picture of like a koala on your head.
I have had an outstanding offer to every single tournament organizer that I've ever worked for. ESL, StarLadder, PGL, they all know this offer. I said, if you hold a tournament in Australia, I will work it for free. Get me on the invite list and make sure that I go there. That has been an outstanding offer for 4 years. And these are the first guys that have ever cashed in on that offer. So, fuck yes. Cannot wait to Australia. Pokemon Snap will finally be out of my life. I won't have to think about it ever again. I can't fucking wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That has been haunting me since I was 13 years old. A missed trip to Australia, and it's finally over.
That fucking story. God, I forgot about that.
All right, anyway.
All right.
Also, I want to die, and that's the greatest place. People just die there all the time for no reason. Do you guys read about that plant that makes people kill themselves because it hurts so much? You ever read about that?
We've got some of that around here.
So there's this plant in Australia. It has these like microfibers in it. That's kind of like asbestos or whatever, but for the skin. And it gets stuck in there. And if you even graze against it, it gets stuck in there. And the pain is so excruciating, people have blown their own brains out. It lasts for years, not days, really? And there's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is if you do it quick enough, you can like skin the first layer off the skin. You can like, and then maybe it will be okay. But people in the Outback, if you touch the bottom of it, it's super soft, so they use it as toilet paper accidentally sometimes. So they put it up their butthole, and then it's like their butthole feels like stinging fire for years. So much so that they kill themselves. Just a local place in Australia. Yeah,
I can't wait to visit Australia.
Well, hopefully you'll have toilet paper, Sunspan. You're not just reaching for random shit outside to rub on your ass.
You don't know Suns fans.
I don't. I don't. You know, no,
You never know
no
where
judgment,
you are when it hits.
but
You know?
Anyway.
Wow.
What a
Okay.
wild
pack some like tissues or something just in case.
Yeah, that's why
if you're in the
baby
middle
wipes
of the
are
brush.
the dream. You know.
Yeah. So, anybody got a story this week? Anyone?
Mally, tell us the story about Zyori and his girlfriend.
Oh, am I
Is
allowed
that
to
cool for him to tell that one, Zyori?
I'm trying. Which one? Which?
You know,
one? Oh,
you know the one. It became a phrase. When we were in the press room, you were telling me about your girlfriend, about a story when you came back from a date.
Oh, yeah. Have I told that story on here? If I haven't, I would love
No.
to hear his rendition. I want to hear the story of me in the third person.
All right.
Please.
Okay.
Is she gonna kill you though? If she hears
No,
this
no,
story?
I don't think she'll care. She'll think it's funny.
Okay.
I hope.
So this was one of my favorite TI moments. Me and Zyori in the press room. I've just found out he's not gay.
Breaking news.
And Zyori's going all out to prove that he is a real man. So he starts telling me about his girlfriend. Can I say information about her or not?
Sure, dude.
So anyway, his girlfriend's from South Korea. And he's saying about, yeah, she's like so clever and so good looking and does see photos. And I was like, sure. He shows me the pictures, then he tells me about his date. I guess it's the second date or something.
Sure.
Yes.
And I'm trying to watch the match at the same time, so I'm sort of giving him a bit of attention. And he says, yeah, I went on a date, came home, went in a house and said, wow, this smells like Chinese food. And then Zyori recovered and he said, I meant Korean food. And then he looks at me and says, we still bang. And I really didn't care about the end of that story. It's just, we still banged was just, oh.
Why would
was
you say that, Simon?
Wait,
It was so good. It was the pause as well. It's like, I said Korean, he looks at me, we still banged. It's pretty much.
It really
He
stuck
goes-
with him, Zyori. He called me. He physically called me. He's like, I got to tell you about this Zyori thing. He was telling me about his girlfriend, and he looks at me. He goes, "We still banged." I was like, "What are you talking about?" It like stuck with him. You changed his life, Zyori. I don't know what happened.
That was one of my best moments from TI. That was a great story.
It was like another one of those times where I continue talking for a few minutes after that, and then he just stops and goes, no, but, I'm not even listening, and you tell me as if I care, oh, we still bagged. He was like, I'm already disconnected, and it's a detail I could, like...
We still banged.
That
One
was
of my favorite memories with Mally, we were in Boston Major, and I was like, I got to go eat. I'm going to get some hoodle. And he's like, what is a hoodle? And I'm like, Chipotle. Have you ever heard of Chipotle? And he's like, well, no, I've never heard of Chipotle.
Why do I sound like that?
What? I walk him into Chipotle, and he goes, what is this? I'm like, it's a burrito. And he goes, what is a burrito? What fucking year are you from? You're not a goddamn burrito.
That's very out of touch,
The thing
though.
that you make is not a burrito. That is an abomination.
Well, whatever. And it was a very American moment because it's like you think that burritos are probably around the world, right? But really, they're from Mexico, and
Yeah.
it's kind of an American dish. You wouldn't think that. But meeting him for the first time, it was like an early Dota event. I really thought about other cultures for the first time. Like, this motherfucker doesn't even know what a fucking burrito is. That's insane. But I'm sure you got all sorts of
uncultured.
crazy British stuff like wiggly poops or something that I don't know what the fuck they are.
I mean, the first impression wasn't great. You're like Chipotle, it's really amazing, and it was just this like sloppy sandwich in aluminium foil. And you just
Sloppy
unwrapped it,
sandwich is oh
and then you just unwrapped it, and then you just I'll have two of these, and then it was cool, but it was. I have a good memory of that, but it was kind of odd.
When you go to Chipotle and you ask them to double wrap your burrito, something is wrong with you. I'm just gonna. Something's wrong with
It's a
your
big
burrito.
boy.
You have to fucking double wrap it. Christ.
We had the same experience with JJ at TI, or was it last year at TI 7 or TI 8 when Trent made tacos, and he was like, what is this? What is this meat with vegetables in a shell? And I was like, this is tacos. Is this Canadian? he was
so
blown away. He's
strange.
like, guys, this is incredible. This is like the best thing I've ever eaten. You're like, man, German food really does suck. You've never had tacos.
German food's very heavy. I think I lived basically off of pastry the entire time because the food was just so heavy.
Europeans just don't know how to food.
This is a question for Mally, okay? One question before we bid everybody adieu. And this is very important because this is a dish that everyone in America loves. Regardless of whether they'll admit it or not, they will eat it. Have you had a Totino pizza roll before, my friend?
No.
You've never had it.
I had a Twinkie, and that was exciting. Yeah,
Twinkie's good. Twinkie's good. That's a good start. But Totino's, that's how you survive
never had a
through
Daddy
college.
T? You've never had a Toto?
You're just making this
Why
up.
won't
Is this a real
Pizza Roll
food?
return our calls? Do you know what kind of segment we could do as he ate his first ever Toto? Have you ever had a bugle before?
Bugles.
You could be.
You're just making stuff up now. I don't
We're
know.
No, this is good content. We'll get a bunch of American snacks and foods and make Mal
Jake
eat
loves those
them.
pieces of content.
Yeah.
The ones where we give
It'll be
people
like
food.
the shows they give really exotic food to people, but this is stuff that's just super standard that he's just somehow hasn't eaten.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
standard because you're American and you think everything American everyone has tried.
That's right.
Yes.
America is global. It's a global
Globalization, dude. Dude, see, Mally, what you don't understand is that Hostess has a whole line. You think the Twinkie is cool. Just wait until you meet the Twinkie's ugly cousin, the Snowball.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
my.
snowballs.
Yeah, Twinkie's their one. Actually, the cupcake ones are pretty good.
They have like, what is it? They're called like ding dongs or something.
Ho-ho.
No way, there's not a snack called a ding dong.
There's a snack called a ding
There's
dong.
not a snack called a ding dong.
They're like,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah. Ring
Yeah,
ding
there's
dongs.
those ding dongs.
I'm gonna look it up now. I gotta look it up.
Me and Melly have a running joke at events where we're trying to come up with content, and we're like, why don't we just do something where they eat shit again? It's unanimously known as the worst fucking content. If you see me doing a content piece where I'm making people eat stuff, look deep into my eyes and see the misery, because that's the fucking worst.
The no one. That when we did no one, so I think it was Bucharest Major.
Oh,
These people
God.
like being big stars. They didn't want to do any content,
Oh.
and Slack's like, "Yo, find them. They don't want to do any content with us." Manager appears. Are we gonna get fined? He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna get fined." He's like, "Okay, do the content." No one did not say anything and just ate these shitty snacks we gave him, and it was the worst piece of content. So if you ever watch
Holy
that video,
shit.
watch his face.
That was so funny. I'm like, this is bones of lamb mixed with donkey hearts, and he's like,
Oh, fuck. I mean, no one's record with Slacks is already terrible, but that was pretty bad.
that's my favorite thing. When I work at events now, I'm like, I need it in the contract that they have to do content, and I'm like, I'm fighting you fucks if you don't do this shit. God.
He
All right,
was
anyway.
serious. He was actually scared. That manager was like really scared.
Good.
He said, like, you're gonna get fined. He's like, okay, I will tell them to come.
That shit was so funny.
All right, I
Tell
linked
them
it.
that
I
they're
linked it for you,
fine.
Mal.
Mhm.
In the What the Duck Discord.
Ding dongs.
There's ho-hos
confirmed
and ding
real.
dongs.
No. This is just nonsense. He just
Yeah, what
photoshopped
company
it.
is this again, by the way?
Nah, this is the quick
This is
photo.
Hostess?
Ho-ho.
Ho-hos
They're
is
so
real.
shitty compared to
Ho-hos
Twinkies.
are absolutely real.
No, you know you love ding dongs if the sound of doorbell makes you drool.
We
I
didn't
was gonna
say
say
their
something else.
marketing was good.
Just said it's a thing.
Nah,
Just that they exist. Oh,
That's just
Jesus.
a crappy bit of Photoshop.
All right.
Good job, Moonduck, guys.
Well,
Good job.
now that we've brainstormed our next great content piece, I guess we will leave it there. Of course, this Bad Daddy will be up on the Moonduck YouTube, youtube.com/moonducktv, and the audio-only file will be on moonduck.tv/podcast. We're off to Vegas, and that Suns fan, what have you been doing, man? Where you been at? Where can your fans follow all of your latest work?
Just doing artifact stuff, bro. I'm obsessed. What can I say?
All right, he's playing cards. Look out.
Card game player here.
All right.
Don't forget about the malystryx rename contest. Submit your links. An official announcement coming soon for malystryx rename by the Dota 2 community.
Can we do this? Can we do an artifact beta key giveaway for a rename?
I'll think about it. But I think it would be really funny to have the community vote on malystryx new name.
They're just
and
going to
then
say
have stick with it.
Cuxworth. It's so obvious. They're all going to say that.
Oh,
Now
dude, if
put
your
ding
name
dong as an option, please.
was-
I beg of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now for our post-game interview, it's Ding Dong. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my fucking god! All right, guys, guys and girls, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.